and then we can take like a little tally, or Ian, you can, diligently taking notes. Hats off to Ian. But I'll shout out social media app and just raise your hand, and then we'll break down each app that you guys have, with what you use it for, what you like the most about it, what you like to eat. Yeah, and then that will be that. So yeah, who all here has Instagram? Yeah. Who all has Snapchat? Who has TikTok? Awesome, everyone. How about Spotify? Okay, sweet. And then we'll get into podcasts after that, but do all of you listen to podcasts?
Yeah.
No, Chaz?
Here and there. Not a common occurrence.
I think everyone except for Chaz listens to podcasts. Okay, that's informative for sure.
I share my posts with everyone. I'll go on vacation, people I meet, my friends, school friends, sports that I've met throughout, and my family. I have a lot of family that also follows me, or some of my friends' parents, for example, follow me, so they can all see my posts. And I know I have a lot of people from other countries that when I've traveled, or my family's from Mexico and Ecuador, so they can see them too.
Yeah. My Instagram is very business oriented. My idea behind it is that I want everyone to think, well, I am, so I just act like myself, but I try to seem like a free-flowing kind of a person. I try to make it look good for colleges who click on my page and, they want to check me out before they were trying to recruit me. Obviously, all my friends, family, some sports pages, meme pages, sports pages, nutrition pages will follow you and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But mostly it's for business, college-wise, and other applications that I may want in the future. They can look on that and they can see what kind of a person I am.
Wow.
Personally, I've been involved in a lot of organization events. One's called PFEW, Pennsylvania Franchise Week. Go up to a college for a week, learn about business. Another, I got to go to Washington, D.C. And on those trips, I met a lot of people, and they follow me on Instagram now. So a lot of my followers are that. I follow a lot of them. I follow sports pages and meme pages, like Green said. But other than that, yeah, family, but that's honestly about it. I've already been recruited for college. I don't really need to worry about how my account looks so much anymore. I used to, but now that I've been recruited, it's not so much of a priority. Of course, still worry about it, but not as much.
I know for me, a lot of my followers, the same. I'm in a lot of organizations and stuff. So I went on a trip called AMA, which is a music trip where you meet people from your state and different states, and you all go to Europe together and you perform in different countries. And so I keep in touch with people through Instagram and Snapchat and other social media accounts like that. Mm-hmm. And then my posts wise, I try to I don't know, I kind of feel it's a creative outlet for me, because I really like to model and get pictures and do stuff like that, but then I also editing them and adding cool backgrounds and stuff like that, and just trying out different stuff.
Yeah, I think my Instagram is mostly just for fun, so I just post things if I picture of where I went somewhere of my friends, I like to post it. The people who I guess are following me, who I'm posting for, are just friends I know at my school, my family. I've also done some camp trips and stuff like that, so people you don't necessarily talk to very often, but you still want to keep in contact with in some way. And then I think the accounts I follow, I'm interested in what other people I know are doing. Meme pages, also sometimes just celebrities I like, and there's a lot of these kind of cartoon drawing pages I like. I can't really explain it without showing it, but kind of just fun to look through. So those are the type of things that I look at. Yeah.
Wow, those are all very different approaches to one app. I kind of love hearing that. That's amazing. Okay, well then for Instagram, what do you like best about it, and then what do you like least about it?
My favorite thing about it would have to be just like the creative outlet that you see from all your friends and family. Like like most of the people you talk to in everyday life, they don't really seem like they have the kind of creative flow or that kind of want to do something, creative. But then you see out of them every now and then they'll either take a good photo and they'll post it, or they'll have like, a nice little thing to add to their portfolio, and I think that's kind of that's not the idea of Instagram, but it's a nice little thing about Instagram, just kind of creating a little portfolio for yourself. But then my least favorite thing is reposts, definitely.
Yeah. I think that's also something I like just seeing pictures. Like I think it's very like picture oriented. Instagram is like when you click on someone's profile, like you automatically see like all of those pictures. And so I think it's kind of like a way to like express a certain part of yourself. So like if you want to post like really funny things, really cool things, like the way you set everything up, I think like it's really cool to see how people will use those pictures to like express themselves. Like kind of like you said, it's like a little portfolio of your life. But I think on the other hand, like that's also something that's like easy to dislike about it, is that it's so visual oriented. Like my mom uses Facebook a lot, and so people on there will sometimes just post like paragraphs. Or when you click on their profile, like you don't necessarily, like the first thing you see is all of their pictures. So I think at the same time, like it's kind of hard when spend a lot of time on Instagram and it's so visually oriented, because then you kind of like, I think it also like leads to comparison, and I think it can be really easily lead to like creating this like image of someone else, or like creating an image of yourself. It's not necessarily true. So I guess it kind of depends on like how you view Instagram basically. But I think in some ways it's nice because like it is so visually expressive.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think that's nice.
Yeah, I also agree. I think a lot of people, like now with social media and Instagram, like we know a lot of people are obsessed with giving their best portrayal, I guess, like obsessed with looking good, obsessed with making sure everyone thinks they have the perfect life. And we know it's not always true. I know that my friends don't all have the perfect clear skin or the best body like they make it seem on Instagram. So a lot of times it doesn't show the truth, but a lot of other times, like I have a lot of friends with like art profile or art pages, and like we can go and follow them and see like what they create. I like that. And I also like we can like comment. So like friends that I don't really talk to or that I met like years ago, I could just like leave a little comment, be like, hi, miss you, like you look good or something like that.
My favorite aspect is kind of how everything is immortalized once you post it there. Like you can always reflect back on your memories and see what you did like 2 years ago. You can see exactly what you did. Plus, with COVID-19, you can use it to communicate along with Snapchat. Though the least favorite part is you see the spam accounts are like, don't click this page and don't scroll right or whatever, and that just gets really tedious. But other than that, it's really fun to scroll through, see your friends, how they're enjoying this, see what they've done through the past year.
I know for me personally, I have like a few Instagram accounts, but then like one of them is like my personal account, and that one I try to like, it's like what we said, like a portfolio of me. And so that one's like, from that sense, is you want to like look perfect. You want your best self like being shown from this, and you don't want like, I don't know, your worst moment. You don't want to post a bad picture of yourself for other people to see. So I think that's like one of the downfalls of Instagram, because it gives you like that image and like thought that you need to be perfect, but like you don't. But then I think one good thing about Instagram is it's a creative outlet. And like another one of my accounts is I have a shared account with my friends where we have like 30K followers. But the only way we got there is from working together and creating posts together that are like fun and easy for other people to see, and just trying out different things. And it was a good creative outlet for us to work together and like create a bond.
Snapchat's a little less professional than Instagram. I'll tell you that straight up. It's yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who say nice things about you on Snapchat, for better or for worse. It's more so for kids, just to socialize. Some people use it completely as a texting platform, which is also great. You know, I mean, I've made dozens. I can't even tell you how many plans I've made through Snapchat, not through texting.
Yeah.
It's a great way to communicate and through each other, but I'd say the worst part about that app is how unregulated it is. Just because I'm not that kind of guy that like wants to I don't flirt through the phone kind of a thing, and there's a lot of people who do. I don't like that. I don't really like it. So I'd say that's probably pretty bad, because there's a lot of illegal things that happen through Snapchat.
Yeah.
So that's probably the worst part of it, I would say.
Yeah, I like Snapchat. The reason like I wanted before to delete it because I'm so addicted to like just getting on it. It's one of my most used apps. But I don't, because it's some of my only way of contacting some people, because like nowadays I don't really have that many people's numbers. But like on Snapchat, you can just text each other, or you might post on your story, be like, who wants to hang out? And like people you would normally wouldn't hang out with, like you make plans, like you create new relationships. So I like that. Or I like seeing like some of my friends, like they'll post like singing videos and stuff. Just like everyday little stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you two are saying, I use it to text my friends and stuff and make plans, but at the same time, I can also use it to make new friends using like the quick add feature, or even people don't put their numbers on their Instagram. They put their Snapchat or whatever. You can add people, make new friends through their Instagram, add them on Snapchat and talk for hours or whatever, get to know them instead as well. So it's a different way of using it, but I like it more than iMessage.
I really like Snapchat because it feels like a lot more personal. So the people that I add on Snapchat, like I have a lot less followers on Snapchat than or like people that I'm friends with on Snapchat than Instagram. And it's kind of nice because I feel like when you like go through people's Snapchat stories, it's more like every day, you know, like you kind of see like what they're doing. Could be something random, could be something funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I enjoy like the direct conversations in that way. And I think like my favorite part about Snapchat is just like the Snapchat memories feature. How you can just like save stuff that you do, like go back and look at it. And I think I'm more likely to like document little things that like I would forget but I still appreciate on Snapchat than I would on Instagram. Like Instagram are those things you're gonna remember, but Snapchat I think is the little moments that you might forget without it.
I know for me that Snapchat is mainly used for like keeping in touch with people. Like Instagram, I follow, like how I mentioned, I went on the AMA trip. I followed everyone on AMA on Instagram. I only added like my closer friends on Snapchat, and I keep in touch with them through like streaks and stuff like that. Like it's just like, oh, I'm thinking of you, sending like a message, you know, and rather than texting them, because I feel like that's very forward, you know, in a certain way. But then Snapchat's like informal and it's just like quick and easy compared to texting.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's like a less formal way of communicating. And I guess nowadays, like, I don't know, I guess I wasn't that close with someone. I would think it's kind of weird to text them, like a text message or DM. I feel like that's very forward, like you said. But Snapchat, I can just like send a picture and be like, hey, like, how are you doing? And I feel like it's a very good way of communicating
Oh,
and like keeping that relationship.
You guys touched upon like what you all like best about it. Like you like it more than iMessage, which again I understand too. You have closer friends on there. You less formal. And again, like in terms of like what you like least about it, the lack of regulation is a very good answer. But is there anything else that you like least about it?
I think it's just like a different platform. Like there's nothing I can really like say I don't like about it, but it's just like completely different from Instagram or from Facebook. It's like a completely different thing that I can't really be like judged compared to those.
Yeah, I don't really dislike Snapchat either. There's really not a lot that is wrong with the app itself. It's a great idea. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I don't really like having conversations with people through like the messaging part, you know, because I hate having to like save something after I like already say it. So I think it's good for like casual or quick conversations, like if you're actually texting it and like doing pictures. So I think that's something I don't really like, is like it feels like, I don't know, it's like hard to have a conversation because either you have to save it every time or like no one ever remembers what they said.
There's something in the settings where for just one specific person you can go on their profile and you can save the snaps for up to 24 hours before it expires. So you can go back and see what you said. I have to do that sometimes because I get lost. So
Cool.
Yeah. Some people reply a lot later in the conversation. Like you could be talking back and forth and then they just stop for hours. And then they text back, they're like, oh, what were we? And I'm like, I don't even remember anymore. Like,
or it's weird when you're typing and like their little like Bitmoji thing is there and you know they're like watching you type. Does anyone else remember me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I better hurry up and get out what I have to say.
Yeah, no, it's the best when like it keeps like coming like texting and then they stop texting, then they start again. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to like watched on Snapchat. I don't know what it is. But like they know when I open it, they know when I'm typing, like.
Yeah.
I have drafts. Okay.
Yeah, I don't use it. I don't know. I think I just addicted to all these other apps. I don't really want to have something else to spend my time on. Although everyone tells me like, get TikTok, it's so funny. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
It's so funny, dude. I like sit there for hours, like just watching TikToks. They're so funny. I have like a couple drafts made. I don't share any TikToks that I make. I will send funny TikToks depending on what the format of TikTok is. That dictates on who I'm sending it to. But you know, I have a really good time just going through TikTok, seeing like, because some of these kids are so creative. Like, for better or for worse, they are so creative, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I mostly use TikTok for like entertainment. I think it's definitely an app that I can like spend the most amount of time on without even realizing it. Like you'd think that it would feel like a long amount of time, but it goes by really quickly. And then I think it's like with my friends and I, like we use it together because if I see something funny, if I see something interesting, I'll send it to them and we like send each other. And something else I really like is like, if it's not funny, then it's like, oh, this is something we should try, or this is something that we can like make together. And so I think it's like, even though it's not super interactive, it still is. And then I don't really make TikToks. Sometimes if I make something that I think is like kind of funny, I'll post it just because I know like no one will see it. Like I have like followers. I mostly just use it to like watch other people's posts and like share them with my friends.
I know for me that I use TikTok for like entertainment, just like scrolling through if I'm bored, and it does like waste a lot of time in like your day. Posting wise, I think it's like really intimidating to post on TikTok because like you want to do well. If like you're posting something, you don't want it to be like bad. And a lot of your TikToks like go out to people that you know. And like some of that stuff, like I don't want other people like around me seeing like me doing something stupid. So I like for me, I started a TikTok with my friends because it's a lot less pressure and it's like less intimidating for us to do it together, and like, oh, this is us doing stuff we like doing together, and it's like funny for all of us, you know? And so we're like building a following on there just because we thought it would be something fun to do during like quarantine and stuff. But majority of the time that I spend on TikTok is not like making posts, but it's just like watching them. And I also use TikToks to like start conversations if they're funny, you know, just like send it out there. It's a good icebreaker sometimes.
Yeah.
It is.
I like following
you-
more sports pages since I'm interested in sports, so I can kind of go through. They'll post like their highlights and kind of like their funny moments and stuff. But other than that, I kind of just go through the For You page and like Juliana was saying, just kind of send them to people, icebreakers or whatever. Just kind of laugh.
Mhm. Yeah, if it qualifies for like a legit account that's like pretty funny and they consistently make, you know, funny videos, they're getting a follow. But you know, I mean, I'd say the app itself is really nice and I don't really have any problems with it. The only thing that I would say that isn't too good is if you're a creator. The editing platform isn't very good. Obviously I say that I use Adobe Premiere, so I'm more in tune with like, you know, the legit editing softwares. So it's just in comparison with that, you know, TikTok's editing isn't very good. But that would be my only problem with it. But even then, it's not like the worst, you know.
Yeah, I agree with Aiden in that, like, I'll follow people if, like, they post, like, a lot of funny videos. Like, I'm like, okay, then I like them. But I think a lot of the time, even if I follow them, I don't really, like, look at the following feed. I still keep looking at the For You page feed. I kind of just, like, follow people as, like, a good job. Like, oh, good job. I'll follow you now. And then in terms of like stuff I don't really like about it, I also agree. Like, I've never really like tried to make a lot of videos, but like if I'm just trying to like do something simple, like I'm just already like confused on how to use it. So I mean, not that I would be interested in making them, but I think like if I was interested in making a video, it would take me a long time just because it'd be like difficult to edit it and like figure it out. Like it doesn't feel very like user friendly.
I know for like me that most of like my following, I don't remember following half of those people. I follow like 400 people and I've had TikTok for like a year, and I don't know like how I followed half of them, but like I follow them, and so like I must have liked something they did. But like normally, like what Courtney and Aiden said, I follow them if I like something that they did, and then I never see it again. So
So for Spotify, we've established that we all use it. Do you use paid versions or the free version? If you use paid, raise your hand. Sort of.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
I'm more used to it's kind of like an in-between on Spotify.
I feel that. I just feel like once you go into premium, you can't,
Yeah,
there's
you
no
can't
going
go back.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. For those who use free Spotify, or I guess with paid, I don't experience ads in my premium Spotify, but have you guys found in premium that you view ads or ads come to you at all?
On my old phone, I got premium by jailbreaking. So I jailbroke my phone and then I was able to just have free premium. So not on my phone I didn't, but when I connected to the Xbox, since it was a linked account, I would get ads through my Xbox. But I still had all the features of premium. Other than that, I've never had that problem. I get my new phone, I pay for premium now. I still get ads through my Xbox. That's just because it's not a linked account right now. Well, once I do that, it probably would be.
Mhm.
But you know,
Yeah.
all you gotta do is pay for premium. And you're good.
But for those who use it for free, do you see ads on it as well?
Yeah.
What kind of ads? Is it just like, is it scrolling through like the timeline feed or like your page and then seeing ads that way? Or is it just all audio between listening to songs?
It's just audio for like if I'm listening to music on a speaker, unless like you're on the app, I guess like it plays some videos sometimes, or like sometimes there's like if you want extra time without an ad, you can tap a video and watch it. But I just like let it play through. I don't really care, really.
I know for me, I use Apple Music typically, but when I do use Spotify, it's for like listening to playlists that my friends will make. And so like when I do my homework, I don't really want to use Apple Music because I listen to like specific playlists like that. But when I use Spotify, it's like a bunch of different artists and songs. So I listen to that. So it's like a different vibe for me. And I get ads like every 30 minutes, like it'll come up like the listening ads. I'm kind of used to hearing those now, so I just like don't pay attention and let it play through.
That is fair. What kind of ads do you hear? Is it just kind of like, is there any pattern? Like, is it just Spotify promoting itself? Is it like just
all
Oh,
Spotify?
State Farm.
It's like
State Farm.
promoting it
So much.
like you hear them saying like get premium like every single time it is that to go into premium. I don't know, a lot like the other ads I've kind of just like I muted out, to be honest, now, so I don't really like, I've never really paid attention, but I like sometimes I'll listen to like Spanish music, and I've noticed that while I am, the ads will speak in Spanish.
an escape?
I know for me,
By viewing a simple ad. That's much
Viewing this ad, yeah.
You will receive 30 minutes of free Spotify music.
That's an enticing offer there, hey? Yeah, so I guess that would maybe tie into what do you like least about Spotify, even if you have a paid account?
I kind of don't like, for me, I just prefer the setup of Apple Music. That's why I use it. But I understand why people do like Spotify, but for me, it's like a little less organized. And so that's why it's like more confusing for me to use it. That's why I don't like it, but.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is like when you go to your liked songs, there's so many of them, and it's like hard to if you want to find like a genre of bangers and you don't have that. I'm sorry, someone just tried to call me. But if you don't have that like designed playlist and you're trying to make it and you're going through your like songs, it takes so long. But yeah, that would probably be my only problem with it. Other than that, I generally really like the app.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's easy to kind of get like a little bit like lost and confused. If you like click through a bunch of things, you have to like click out a lot to like get back to where you were. But honestly, now that I've like had it for so long and I'm used to it, I really don't mind it, and I almost kind of like it in a way because I don't know, it feels like you're kind of like discovering things within the app, like even though you really aren't. And then I like that you can connect with other people, but I like that you can't like post anything, like really see that much of like what other people are doing. I still really prefer how it's mostly private, but like if you want to follow someone, playlist private, you can do that. Like I like how it's like you can still connect, but it's still something that's your own, you know. You're not making playlists really to like just to show other people, or at least not most of the people aren't that use the app.
Yeah, I like if I want to like go work out or go on a run, I can just click the workout genre and it gives me different like playlists, like, or it has like a jogging one or like different heart rate, like how or lower for like that tempo of music. I like it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love hearing some of like, this is a really like scuffed things that like some of these people are doing. Like, there's so many interesting like things to hear about. That that normally who really cares, and like you don't get to have that one-on-one talk with some of these people. So just hearing people that really do a really fantastic job at putting together a story and then narrating it, talking about it. I feel like it's a beautiful process, and I can just sit at home and watch a podcast or two for an hour or two, just having because it's nice. I don't know. I like it.
For sure.
Yeah. Me too. I think it's nice when, like, you're kind of tired of like listening to music, or like if you're going on a long drive or you're going for a walk and you kind of want something like more to just like keep you occupied or to think about. I mostly listen to like 2 podcasts. So one of them is like Crime Junkie. So it's just like it's just about like forensic cases and stuff like that. So I just like listen to it for fun because I find it like interesting and entertaining. Mm-hmm. And then I also listen to like Philosophize This. It's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. And
I really like it because I think it's something that like you don't really learn about in school, and the guy Stephen West like gives it to you in like very easy, like palatable ways to like understand. And so I think that's one I really like listening to because like it causes me to think, and then I can like send it to my friends, and, like we can talk about it. So I just think it's just something different, and it's just nice to like change it up with a podcast sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to podcasts like as often as I used to. Like I used to listen to them like once a day, but now I listen to them like every once in a while, like, oh, maybe I can pull one up. But I also listen to like a lot of like forensic and like stuff like that I find interesting. And otherwise I listen to just like people talking about different topics. A lot of like business ones I've listened to.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Looks like I should start listening to podcasts.
Yeah, they're fun. They're very fun. You really need to kind of get into it. But they can be as specific as like a dedicated Game of Thrones channel where they have like 400 episodes, and then one as broad as like Philosophize This, where they just pull in all of these random things all over the place. So yeah, it's nice to know where you guys are coming from and what you're interested in.